On 5th January 2023, the Inspectorate of Government received a letter from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development calling for a probe into allegations of mismanagement, abuse of office and corruption by the former Managing Director, NSSF Richard Byarugaba. The ministry raised over 25 concerns that they wanted investigated following a report from Parliament and a petition by representatives of workers, NSSF savers and labour unions.
This is the report that we are submitting.
The IGG's investigation noted financial losses incurred by the fund under the stewardship of the former Managing Director, Byarugaba. The report pins Byarugaba and the then Director of Finance, Mwanje, for illegally engineering the resignation of 2 board members at a cost of 687,257,226 shillings.
But there's no provision in NSSF Act that if someone resigns from the board, they should be paid for the amount, for the time they would have stayed serving on the board. And this is what happened and caused that loss, and that loss has to be paid for.
The report notes further that Byarugaba and Mwanje caused the fund a financial loss of 4,400,854,827 shillings when they authorized irregular payments to staff who exited under voluntary early retirement.
An exit package not backed by law and outside the provisions of Section 87 of the Employment Act. Some of them had only about 3 months left to the end of their contract, but they were paid hefty sums of money as if they were still had their contract running.
The IGG report is calling for Byarugaba and Mwanje to jointly refund the money for the 2 financial losses caused.
We direct that both Mr. Byarugaba and the Director for Finance, Mr. Mwanje, should jointly refund this money.
However, the Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU, has expressed reservations with the IGG's report.
I was in that meeting where the minister herself proposed that we get 2 men should leave the board and be replaced by women because of the complaint from women that they were not gender represented. So this issue was actually taken to the board, and the board, they are the ones actually who allowed that money to be paid to these people. So once the board make a decision, there is no way that that decision can now go down and implicate the managing director or the manager. So by law, that is not fair, and I want IGG to retract that and put it to the board.
In releasing the report, the IGG's office is pledging not to prosecute the 2 unless they fail to refund this money.
We are going to now write to Mr. Byarugaba and Mr. Mwanje, asking them to refund the money. I'm sure that they will respond. Normally, we do give people some timeline, but we haven't come to that yet.
The report further highlights that the MD's refusal to implement the minister's directive to amend the NSSF budget to include 6 billion shillings for purposes of strengthening compliance and enhancing partnerships was an act of insubordination.
The minister was within her right to direct amendment of the budget. We therefore recommend that regulations need to be developed, or Section 29 subsection 3 amended to regulate the minister's power over the budget.
However, despite some costly management and financial decisions, the IGG's report commends the pair compared to the robust status of the fund during Byarugaba 12-year tenure.
The fund recorded remarkable growth of accumulated contributions and net worth from 1.7 trillion to approximately 17 trillion, which is a key performance indicator of the CEO of the fund.
The report concludes by recommending legislative amendments to the NSSF Act to close the loopholes caused by the losses.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen and ladies.